everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I am super excited to share with you all part 1 of my Sephora VIB sale haul. So this has kind of been a long time coming because I actually placed my order the first day of the Sephora VIB sale, and I was super excited for all the products. You know, everything was in stock, it was great. But then I just found out today that my package was lost. So it's been over a week since the package first shipped. And unfortunately it's lost. So today I actually went to Sephora in person to try to pick up as many of the products as possible. Unfortunately, some of them are already sold out, and so that was pretty disappointing. In particular, the Dior Backstage Glow Face Palette in the color story 1 Universal was something I was really excited about, but unfortunately that's just sold out everywhere at the moment. So I will not be featuring that product. But I tried to get as many products in store as possible. The things I couldn't find in store, I ended up picking up online. And so I will have a part 2 to this haul as well. I'll mention those items in today's video in case you guys are interested. Definitely make sure to subscribe so you find out when that video is up. But let's first just run through the products I have for today's video. So first off, we have this Sephora Favorites Clean Me Up Kit. So this is their Clean Beauty Sampler. I was on the fence about this for the longest time. It was kind of in and out of my sale many times as I was deciding what to pick up for the sale. But ultimately, I figured it would be good to give this a shot. In particular, I've heard such great things about this Tower28 Mascara and also this Rose Ink Blush. And then I also have previously tried and really enjoyed the Necessaire Body Lotion. And these other products I haven't heard much about, but I am intrigued to try out. Next, I did finally pick up the Dior Backstage Rosy Blush. So this is that super viral blush that kind of started everyone's obsession with these cool toned pink blushes. I honestly don't know what to expect with this and whether it'll actually look good on my skin. I've swatched this in store various times, and I have to say, swatching this, it has no pigment payoff, so it'll be really interesting today to see how it looks on the cheeks and whether it stands out against my skin tone. Weirdly, looking at this right now in the viewfinder, it looks totally white. That's so weird. In person, it looks really vibrant pink. Next, I have this Kaja Beauty Bento. This is their eyeshadow trio in Chocolate Dahlia. So I was on the fence with this product as well for a very long time. I've never actually tried anything from Kaja, but their packaging is just super, super adorable. So you can see they're famous for their little stacked makeup products that are very cute and very compact. So this one, Chocolate Dahlia, is basically the most neutral everyday palette that they have. So there's one shimmer, which is this champagne shimmer, and then there's this taupey transition shade and this chocolate matte. So I'm really curious to try this out because if I like this, I feel like this will be perfect for traveling because it's just a very neutral, very basic color story. So hopefully this works well for that purpose. Next, we have the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. So I've been seeing this everywhere over social media, and I'm actually not someone who normally uses or buys primers, but you guys have also told me really great things about this primer, and I did try a little sample of this relatively recently and felt like it did a pretty good job, and so that motivated me to pick this up in the mini size. And so today I'll put it on half of my face so we can see what kind of effect this has. And then this is not actually from my Sephora haul, it's actually from my latest Ipsy bag, but I figured I'd include it in this video because I haven't tried it yet. This is the very famous LYS bronzing stick in the shade Harmony. So I'm super excited to try this out. I've heard this is a really beautifully creamy bronzer. So that's all the makeup I picked up. In terms of skincare, I also picked up several items. So I have this Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cream. This is in their value size. I've gone through so many of these over the years. This is one of my go-to moisturizers. It's sort of a really nice balance of being very hydrating, but also not very heavy. So I find this works kind of year round, and it's just a very basic moisturizer, so you don't have to worry about it irritating your face, even if you have sensitive skin or if your skin is breaking out. And so that's why I really like this product and just continuously pick this up whenever it's on sale. I also picked up this cute little kit from Supergoop. This is their SPF Bestseller Starter Kit. I'm actually going to open this with you guys here. I wanted to keep it in its original state before digging into it. It comes in this really bright package, and actually I thought this was more of a plasticky bag, but actually this is made out of like a paper material, so I don't actually know if you're meant to use this. I mean, it has a zipper on it, which implies it should be reusable, but it is a paper material, not plastic. Interesting. Oh, wow. Okay. So, okay, these are a lot smaller than what I anticipated. I mean, I knew these were minis, but I didn't realize they'd be quite so teeny tiny. Well, still, I think a good way to try out their products. So first we have this mini of the Unseen sunscreen. I have used a full size of this before and do enjoy it. It has a little bit of a silicone texture, which isn't my favorite, but this has absolutely no white cast, is totally clear, and also sits well under makeup. So from that standpoint, I do think this is a good sunscreen. They also include Supergoop Play. I've never tried this before or really heard that much about it, but this is their everyday lotion sunscreen, so it'll be interesting to try this out. And then finally, actually the reason I picked this up was to try the glow screen. I've heard such great things about this sunscreen over time. It's supposed to give you a really beautiful glowy finish, which is perfect under makeup or on no makeup days when you want more of a dewy skin effect. And so I'm really intrigued about this product. And then the last item I picked up is actually for my husband. This is the Jack Black Face Buff. This is kind of a pre-shave face exfoliator. Can't really say that much about this, except I bought it because my husband likes physical exfoliants, and I heard Michelle Wong recommend this in one of her previous videos. So if you guys are interested, I can give you an update after my husband has used this for a while. So that's everything I have at the moment. Let me quickly just run through the things that I just purchased and will feature in future videos. So definitely let me know if you guys are interested in a follow-up video about these products. So in my video before the sale, when I was going through all of the best sellers, I asked you guys whether you like the Dior lip oil better or the Clarins, and I received a variety of responses, and so I kept going back and forth, kept also watching videos to try to determine which one to buy, and I ended up picking up both of them because I just really couldn't decide. So I'm thinking of actually filming a comparison video between the two. So I picked up the Clarins lip oil in the shade Cherry and the Dior lip oil in the shade Mahogany. The reason I was on the fence is the Clarins one is supposed to have a really kind of sweet, tasty smell / taste, but some folks in the reviews have found it a bit overpowering in terms of scent, whereas the Dior one has a minty scent, but it's supposed to be more subtle. And so personally, I don't really like minty flavors or scents in my makeup, but I also don't like really overpowering scents or flavors. So we'll see. It'll be interesting to have both of them and compare those. In addition, I picked up the Saie Mini Highlighter and Blush Duo set. So that comes with their Rosy Blush and also with their Glowy Super Gel in Star Glow. This was also a product that was kind of in and out of my cart for a while, but today when I went to Sephora, I did swatch both of these products and they did look pretty nice. And so I figure this set is a pretty cost-effective way to try both of them out. And then finally, I picked up the LYS lip pencil in the shade Rise Above, which is a deep berry. So I absolutely love LYS products. I think they're one of the most affordable, high quality brands at Sephora. And recently I've been going for a lot of kind of berry toned lips, but I haven't actually found a really great lip liner for those sorts of days. And so that's why I was really excited to pick up this shade. So that's all in terms of the products that I have bought thus far in the sale. I think that's probably it, but it is possible I might pick up 1 or 2 more items before the sale is over and film one more video with those. So without further ado, let's get into today's products. So I brought you guys closer for this part of the video. Let's start with this Milk Hydro Grip Primer. So like I said, I'm just gonna put this on half of my face today so we can really see the effect. So it's this nice, clear, thick jelly formula. So I'm just going to put on this side of my face. And when I tried this in a sample version, what I liked was I felt that it kind of made my foundation adhere a bit better. And so I felt like the finish looked a little bit nicer than if I had not used it. But I only managed to use that one time with the sample, and so I'm really curious, to give a more rigorous test of this product. So here it is on this side of the face, and here is the side without. So I would say the side with, looks a little bit more hydrated maybe. There's a tiny, tiny bit of tack to it as well. I only put one pump on, so it's not like there's a thick layer or anything, but it'll be interesting to see how this wears over the course of the day. So because I didn't pick up a foundation, I'm going to go in with this sample of the IT Cosmetics CC Plus Nude Glow. I've heard really positive reviews of this over the years, and so I'm really curious to try this out. So I think I'm going to go in with the second lightest shade, at least to start. So this is what the shade looks like. I think it's a pretty decent match for my skin. Maybe just a hair more neutral in undertone than my skin, but pretty good for a shade coming from a sample packet like this. So with my BK Beauty 101 brush, I'm going to stamp that into my skin. Wow, this feels very, very hydrating on the skin. I'm definitely gonna have to powder this down thoroughly. Wow, look how dewy my skin is. Whew. If you want a dewy finish, this product will definitely give it to you. So I think actually one layer looks pretty good. I would normally probably just stop here, but I do kind of want to use up this product. So I'm going to just apply one more layer, a little bit more to the center of my face, and then also wherever I have some blemishes. It does smell kind of like sunscreen. And then it has a slightly lemony flavor as well, which is interesting. Very refreshing overall. But wow, I am impressed with just how incredibly dewy this is making my skin look, huh? Definitely when they say glowy, it is glowy. All right, so here is the CC cream applied to both sides of my face. At least upon initial application, I can't say I notice a huge difference between the two sides of my face. I think especially just given that this is a very hydrating product, the additional hydration from the primer is not necessarily showing that much. I think maybe if I went in with more of a matte primer, I would see more of a difference. But it'll be interesting to see at the end of the day if there's any difference between the two sides of my face. So I went off camera to do my brows, concealer, and a little bit of powder. As always, I'll link those products down below. One thing I will say is I noticed that my base is peeling, which is not great. So it's peeling on both sides, not just the side with the Hydro Grip. So I think this is about the interaction between the CC cream and my skincare. So I do have the Supergoop Daily Dose Vitamin C SPF Serum on. So I haven't really worn that with makeup before. So it could just be that that just doesn't interact well with makeup, or it could be specific to this IT Cosmetics interacting with that. But in any case, I definitely see a lot of kind of pilling and breaking up of my base, which is not great. So for now, I'm going to just keep plowing ahead, but did just want to mention that in case you guys are seeing pilling on my face. So now let's go in with this LYS bronzer in the shade Harmony. So I do actually also have the powder version of this. So let's see how this looks. I'm going to go in with my BK Beauty 107 brush. Just blend this out. Ooh, I feel like that's a really nice shade, and that blended out really nicely. Ooh, okay. That's great. So if you have like a light medium skin tone like myself, I feel like this will work pretty well for you. And normally I don't actually like first applying the bronzer directly to my face because I think sometimes it can make it streaky. But at least for this bronzer on top of this base, it's blending in super, super easily. Wow. Nice. Okay, I can see what the hype is about this. It's very, very easy to use. Very, very nice. Whew, look at that. Very creamy as well. So it's kind of funny. Before I received this in my Ipsy bag, like a few days before, I had gone to Sephora and I wanted to swatch this, and so I picked up the tester they had, and somehow it just kind of like exploded in my hand and ended up kind of getting everywhere. So it's not necessarily the most secure component, but it looks so beautiful. Wow. Okay, I'm actually really impressed. For context, I'm not that huge of a cream bronzer fan, but I feel like this blends in super beautifully, and the tone is really nice too. I personally really like neutral bronzers, and I think this is a really nice neutral tone. It doesn't make you look too orangey, it just gives you a really nice sculpt, but also it's not too gray, so it's a great in-between shade. So next up, let's get into the Sephora Favorites bag. I'm pretty excited to check out these products. So this is basically just a paper bag that has kind of that zip lock technology. So this is what it looks like inside. So we have the mascara. Oh yikes, I just realized I was wondering why something smelled really intense, and it's this perfume. It's kind of leaking over everything. Like, I don't know if you guys can see, this is kind of covered with this. Okay, that explains things, because I kept feeling like my office was smelling really strongly of perfume. I was like, is it just because I went to Sephora and people were spraying perfume? But no, it's this thing over here. So I'm just wiping it off right now. This is the Fleur Missing Person Eau de Parfum. So I don't actually wear perfumes, so I'm not really going to get much use of this, but I will put this off to the side at least so it doesn't continue to get everything else messy. But oof, yeah, they should be a little bit more careful with that packaging. So this guy over here is from Glow Recipe. So this is their Dewy Moisture and Plump. So this is a nice little travel size moisturizer. And then we have this Lawless Forget the Filter Plumping Smoothing Nourishing Lip Gloss. And ew, so this is covered in some sticky substance. I don't know if you guys will be able to see on camera, but do you see that? It's like, ugh, it's all gunked up. That's kind of gross. So I assume it's probably from the perfume. Maybe it got on this and then just kind of set down. Oh, wow. So I tried to remove some of it and it just removed the letters from this. Wow. Okay, that's really intense. Okay, yeah, you can already see it doesn't say filler anymore. That part got rubbed off. Alrighty, well, this is interesting. And then, yeah, if I look at the Tower28, it's also kind of coated as well. Yikes, I feel like I need to give everything in this bag a really good wipe down. I think it's probably the perfume has a lot of alcohol in it, which is then like dissolving the letters on the other packaging, which is really unfortunate. Wow. Okay. Yikes. I was not anticipating that. Okay, so okay, so here is the Necessaire body lotion. I don't know if you guys can see over here. There's almost like a little bit of pinkness, and I think again that is from the pink of this guy leaking over everything. There's that pink stuff that has just gotten all over. Oh my gosh. Oof, this is, yeah, not how I anticipated this portion of the video to go. Everything is just really sticky, and you can see a decent portion of the perfume leaked out and just got everywhere. Wow. Okay, so then we have this Give Beauty lipstick, also coated with perfume, and the smell is very intense right now with this perfume. Okay, well, let's go ahead and put on this Give lipstick while we have this out. This is the shade Stompbox. Okay, this is a very, very tiny lipstick, but I guess this is a good way to try out the brand. I never tried out Give before. In case you guys aren't familiar with it, it's Gwen Stefani's new brand. So let's see. Okay, this is a pretty natural shade, so I have it just on my lower lip, but you can see it looks pretty similar to my lip color. Seems pretty comfortable. Nice hydrating satin lipstick. Nothing that unique or outstanding. I think this is sort of a kind of cupcake flavor. It's a little bit hard for me to smell it by itself because of all the perfume in the air, but yeah, it seems pretty decent. I will also need to clean this off though. It is totally coated in gunk. And since we're doing lip products, let's go ahead and also just put on this gloss on top from Lawless. Let's see how this looks. It's a very cherry flavor. Very interesting, huh? Nice thick gloss. So here it is on the bottom lip. You can definitely see how much more shiny it looks compared to the top. Then let's just add a bit to the top as well. So here it is with the gloss. Oh, that feels pretty nice. No plumping sensation as of yet, at least. It just feels kind of like a normal lip gloss, but with that kind of cherry scent. Very similar to the Fenty Heat smell, if you guys have that formula in her gloss bombs. But we'll see if it starts tingling later. So finally, and that's it, we have Delphine from Rose Inc. So I've been pretty intrigued by this formula for quite a while. So for today, because I also have the other Dior blush, I'm going to first just put this on one side of my face. So I have here my BK Beauty 109 brush, and I'm going to just put on this side to start. I'll even out my cheeks later, but I just want to see how each of the blushes look on their own first off. So it's a very nice kind of apricot peachy tone, very natural, very nice for spring and summer. Slightly warm toned. All right, I think that looks pretty nice. So here it is on this side of the cheek. It's definitely a lot less pigmented than a lot of the other recent viral blushes that we've seen. So compared to the Rare Beauty or even like the Charlotte Tilbury, but still very nice. Really good, I think, for an everyday basis. This is quite a natural shade. And now actually I can feel the slight tingling on my lips. There's that sort of cooling, minty sensation. So no pain, that's great, but it has a slight menthol feeling. And actually, do you guys feel like my lips are plumping up a little bit? I do feel like the lip lines have filled in a bit. Ooh. Okay, that's nice. Actually, I really like how this is feeling so far because it's not painful the way the Fenty Heat is, but it does look a little bit fuller. All right, so I went off camera to put a little bit of my Saie powder down so this cheek will be set and ready to go with this Dior blush. So I have here my cheek brush from Sonia G. So let's go ahead and just go into this. I'm pretty excited to try this out because I have been eyeing this blush forever. Oh wow, actually, that looks a lot more pigmented than I thought based on how it looks in pan. And it actually built up really quickly. Like that was just one swipe in the pan. I thought that this would take forever to build up because like I said, I have swatched this in store before. And when you swatch this, it doesn't really you don't really see that much. Like, and you guys see that swatch? Yeah, it looks really powdery, really not impressive in swatch form, but that actually looks really pretty on the cheeks. It looks way deeper, more like almost more peachy on the skin in comparison to in pan. Wow, I am quite pleased. So here are the two sides again. Here is Delphine, and here is the Rosy Glow shade. I will say though, the two sides of my face look really different, so evening this out is going to be quite interesting. And now let's get into the eyes with this little Kaja Bento. I'm super excited about this. This is so cute. Okay, so let me give you guys a swatch first of this. So here is the first shade, kind of light, shimmery, peachy shade. Actually quite sparkly. And then we have the taupey shade, fairly light on my skin tone. And then finally we have this brown shade. So here we are. These are very light swatches, so you could definitely build them up to be more pigmented. And wow, I really do feel like my lips look plumper. Like, I'm gonna have to definitely, review and edit this footage, of course, but doesn't it look plumper? Like, I don't know if it's just in my head, but it looks plumper to me, which is shocking because this is, again, not painful at all. It just feels a little bit cooling, but wow, okay. I had no idea about this product. I have never heard of it, but it's looking really nice, and it's so glowy as well. Nice. So for this eyeshadow look, I'm first going in with my reference number 15 into the first transition shade. So let's just sweep this lightly. Oh wow, that was so easy to blend out. Did you guys see that? Usually I have to spend a little bit of time zhuzhing out the first shade, but wow. That's really pretty and very natural too. So one thing I'll be interested in checking out with this palette is, how much I can transition this from just a very subtle day look to being more of a little bit more of a glam evening look, because I primarily bought this for travel, and that's what I'm looking for with a travel palette, something that I can just take from day to night without any trouble. So here is just the transition shade, and if you have a skin tone similar to mine, this will look very, very natural in your crease area. So now let's take a little bit of that deeper matte shade just to build things up. Brings a lot more dimension. The other one kind of is very barely visible on my skin tone, and I do really like the quality of these mattes. They're blending in very nicely. For context, I have my Clé de Peau concealer on my lids, no primer. All right, there we go. So I'm gonna build things up a little bit more, but I'm gonna first go in with this shade just to see how it looks. Ooh, it's actually quite pretty and sparkly. I feel like this is really good for kind of a K-beauty look, because usually with K-beauty looks, they don't really have that much in the way of colorful mattes or much depth from the mattes, but they do often bring dimension by having very sparkly shimmers. And I feel like that's reflected in this palette as well. Like, this gives you a very glossy look on the lids. It kind of looks like your lids are wet. Really, really pretty. And let me actually see how well this applies with a brush as well. I'm so used to using my fingers, but sometimes it's nice to just double check that it applies with a brush. And I feel like this is picking up pretty well. It's not really meant, I guess, to be that opaque, as you guys can maybe see. I probably actually should have put some of the taupe shade all over my lids as well, but this is still really pretty. And now for the lower lash line with my reference number 2 brush, I'm first going in with that taupey shade. And then I'm taking a tiny bit of the chocolate shade and then just a bit of the sparkle. Okay, so here we go. Super, super easy, everyday friendly look. Very, very nice. Now let me see if I wanted to add a little bit more oomph to this look, how much I can build it up. So first I'm going back in again with the taupey shade just to add a bit more depth, and I'm bringing this up kind of almost all the way up to my brow bone. And then again with the deeper shade. This is layering quite nicely. I am just very impressed with the quality of these shadows, because Kaja, I feel like because they have such cute packaging, you don't really expect that much in terms of quality, or at least I didn't. Now, I did hear very positive reviews of this product, which is why I picked it up. But if you just looked at it in store, you wouldn't really think, wow, this is like a really serious eyeshadow formula that can compete with the luxury eyeshadows. But I'm very impressed. This is just very easy to use. I don't really have to make any effort to blend this out. And as you guys can tell, this whole look thus far has just been using a couple brushes. And so normally I would go in with a lot more, but because this is so easy to blend out, I find I'm not really having to do that much work. So now just bringing a little bit more sparkle to the look as well. So here we go. Here is the final eye look. I am quite impressed. So I went off camera to add some eyeliner. So now let's go in with this Tower28 Mascara. So for context, I rarely wear mascara because usually it doesn't really show up on me. Like once I add my eyeliner, you really can't tell if I add mascara to my lashes. But I've heard really good things about this mascara being great for folks like myself who have very straight lashes that rarely hold a curl. So let's try that out. So I curled my lashes off camera. Let's see how this looks. So here is one coat on both sides. Did get a little bit on my eyelid as well. Let's try building this up. I mean, I do feel like my lashes are already falling. That's not surprising, but I guess I was kind of hoping that this mascara might be different from all the mascaras I already have in my collection, which all kind of universally struggle to hold up my lashes. Yeah, at least on this side, the lashes are totally sticking out straight right now. So when I look straight ahead, I don't really see a ton in terms of my lashes. I can definitely tell that they have built them up, but because they're just kind of sticking out straight now, it's not like you really see that sort of fluttery lash effect. So here is coat 3 going on. On the plus side, this is not clumpy at all, so that's really great. Alrighty, here we are. So I think this is the best that we're going to get with this mascara. I think it did a pretty good job of lengthening and volumizing my lashes, but not the best job of curling them or maintaining the curl, unfortunately. But we'll see at the end of the day how this is looking. My biggest issue with mascara is because my lashes tend to kind of fall, then they tend to just kind of smudge on my face over the course of the day, which is not great. But we'll see if this fares any differently. So finally, let's even out the two sides of my face. So I'm gonna first go back in with my BK Beauty 109 brush into Delphine. Take a little bit of that and add it kind of on top of the Dior blush, mostly in the first half. There we go. I think that's pretty cute. The side looks much more blushed than this side does now. And then on the other side, I'm going in with the Dior blush and kind of going over it. Ooh, I think that's actually adding a nice effect. Definitely this pink blush is a lot more pigmented and in your face in comparison to the rose ink blush. So I feel like it's kind of dominating the show now. Like now, in general, both sides kind of look more like the Dior blush and less like the Delphine. But at least everything is evened out now. So here we have the final look. What do you guys think? So zooming out, I'm overall pretty pleased with today's haul. I think most of these products worked really well. So in terms of the Hydro Grip Primer, at least at the moment, I'm not seeing much of a difference between the two sides of my face. Again, part of this might just be due to the fact that this is a hydrating primer and I used such a hydrating foundation today. So I'll give you guys an update as I continue to wear this. The foundation itself, I think, has been really nice from a hydration perspective and has a nice natural finish, but because it is pilling a lot with my skincare, it's a little bit hard for me to evaluate. I do still have these additional sachets, so I might try it again at a future date. I really love this LYS bronzer. I'm so impressed with just how easy it was to use and also the tone it has on my face. I think this is excellent for an everyday basis when you want a really natural sculpt and bronze to your skin, and it's just so incredibly easy to use. Now, in terms of this little clean beauty set, I really wish they had not included this perfume because, like I said, I don't like perfume anyway, and this got all over everything. Now everything is sticky, everything kind of smells really intense. My whole room smells like that perfume right now. And I'm sure, especially for this lip gloss, I'm never going to be able to get all the sticky stuff off. So that's kind of annoying. But in terms of the products themselves, my surprise favorite thus far, at least, is this plumping gloss from Lawless. Like, it just feels so nice. I'm so incredibly surprised. This is definitely the product in today's haul I had the least expectations around. But look at it. It's like so hydrated, so juicy on the lips. I really do feel like it filled in my lip lines, which is kind of shocking because I'm not a big lip plumper person. I don't really use a lot of those products. Like I said, I do like the Fenty Gloss Bomb Heat, but this actually I think does a better job and it doesn't hurt at all. It just feels cooling, and at least thus far in the video, it feels about the same as when I first applied it, so it's not getting any more painful. It's also not wearing off. So I'm very, very impressed with this. I mean, I'm gonna have to keep on using this, but if this is as good as today's experience has been, I would definitely pick this up in a full size. Now, in terms of the Give Beauty lipstick, I can't really say that much about this formula because, you know, I'm mostly feeling the effects of the lip plumper. Really pretty shade though, and it felt great when I put it on. Just nothing terribly exceptional, at least upon initial use. For the Rose Ink blush, overall I had a pretty positive first impression. I think this is not the kind of blush I would use on a day when I'm doing a full face of makeup because it is very light and natural on my skin tone. Like, let me actually give you guys a swatch so you can see it really just adds a very nice kind of peachy neutral pink to the skin, and it has a really nice glow to it as well. It's not that pigmented. And so I think this is a product I primarily anticipate using on no makeup days when I just want a 5-minute look, just dabbing a little bit of color to the cheeks. But for that kind of purpose, I think this will be really nice. In terms of the Tower28 Mascara, I'm going to have to leave a pinned comment or film a wear test later today to update you guys. I think so far it's like fine. I mean, my lashes have basically completely fallen down, so is this going to change my relationship with mascara? I don't think it will. For context, I just usually don't wear it because I feel like my eyeliner is doing like all of the work, and you know, the mascara could be there, could not be there. It doesn't really make that big of a difference. And at least so far today, that's how I'm feeling about this mascara, but we'll see. In terms of this Dior blush, I'm actually really surprised and impressed because I, have been on the fence about this product for the longest time, swatched it a lot, had pretty low expectations based on those swatches, but it looks so nice on the skin. Like, it doesn't give you too much of that kind of cool ashen look, like some of the cool toned pink blushes that have been going viral. It has a surprising level of pigmentation and is also surprisingly flattering because even though it looks so cool pink in pan, on the skin it actually, I think, adapts to be much more flattering, because the thing is, like, cool pink is not necessarily the most flattering shade on skin, but this doesn't look cool pink to me. I mean, yes, this is a blend with Delphine, but even when it was just on this side, it didn't actually look that cool. So I'm pretty impressed. I don't know what kind of sorcery this is, but I am actually very impressed with that blush. And then finally, so far, I really like this little Kaja mini Bento. I mean, can you get this look from pretty much any other palette? Yes, definitely. There's nothing like super, super special, I would say, but it is very, very good quality for such a small size. And I think this color story, Chocolate Dahlia in particular, is just very wearable for pretty much any sort of day, any sort of occasion. And even though it's not that special in terms of the colors or the look that it gives you, there is a bit of a special texture, I would say, to these shades. So the mattes are just so easy to blend, like really, really, really beginner friendly. And then the shimmer, even though it's just a champagne shimmer, actually has kind of a unique dimensionality to it. It just has very much kind of a glossy effect on the lids. Like, it really looks like you have sort of wet lids, which I think is quite a cool effect. So on the whole, I am very happy about today's haul, and I also can't wait to get the rest of my products. So definitely let me know in the comments if you guys would be interested in more content about any of these products or about the products that are coming. And I would love to hear as well if you guys have picked up anything from the Sephora sale, and if so, what have you liked? What have you not liked? So that's it for today's video. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you all so much for joining me today, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!